Друзі, всім привіт! Ми продовжуємо проходження Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. І так, ми вже дійшли досить далеко. Не впевнений, що це половина гри, але я думаю, досить близько до половини, мабуть. Нам, а ну-ка, я тут ковбаси накрав, будеш ковбасу? Давай, їж. Ми зараз підемо до монетника, дізнаємося, як нам потрапити на збір, там де буде лживий король СИГІЗМУНД. І дізнаємося, що вони там взагалі задумали, що там він буде казати, що він буде пропонувати, і що взагалі він там хоче. Тож, давайте не будемо затримуватись, до нього відправимось і спитаємося, як він може нас туди пропустити, провести. Можливо, він знає якісь таємні там проходи, або дасть просто ключа, або ще щось. Тож вам приємного перегляду. Пішли його шукати. Де він тут у нас? Десь тут? Ага, походу він тут десь. А ну.
I'm going to see the mint master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
Мені
I have an
призначена
appointment with
зустріч.
him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Та ти на свого меча глянь. Тебе якась додаткова ручка, як у дітей є. Сикло, блядь, а не варта якась. Здорово.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the city council assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
No, Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want?
Ти
And
сильно не
tell the
виділуйся.
truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
Як щодо до кількох грошей? Не тобі це вирішувати. Не
I
тобі
must
це
have
вирішувати.
misheard you. Our business will be over when I say it is, not before. So pull your head out your ass and see to getting me into that assembly.
All right, Jesus. No need to lose your temper. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is zum Eisernen Adler.
Who's this boy?
Franter's his name. Franter Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
What would work on him? how can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Ну, насчет тебе я не буду нічого гарантувати. От я оттуда звісно ж вийду. Так, в тебе книг нема ніяких. Може я до тебе якось завітаю. Вночі. Приріжу тебе нафіг. Давай вали звідси. Так, як тепер цікаво його вмовити? Грошей йому запропонувати? Випивки? Просто дати піздюлів? Якщо в нього буде розбита пика, я думаю, він не зможе прислужувати там. Ну, одні шляхтичі, куди не плюнь. Так, роздобути документи королівського обслужника, роздобути вбрання. Так, вбрання десь когось там потрібно роздобути, ну, все там треба дивитись. Будемо шукати зараз. Так, живучість плюс очко рис. Так, куди там іти, блін? Де взагалі є?
Га?
Так, знову якийсь п'янчуга мене знає. Просто хоче грошей. Так, можливо спробувати відразу взяти вбрання. А що воно мені показує десь тут? Ага, воно просто область мені показує. Наймет. Так, ну шукаємо тоді його прям. Він, можливо, вже за обранням прийшов. О, ти.
Good day to you.
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Я тебе підміню.
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine while I run around like a bugger with pictures so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Я хочу побачити короля.
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why is that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Звичайно.
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right, no need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse, clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You'd better not. Shoes here! Shoe repair!
Ну, все було досить легко, насправді. Так, куди мені треба йти? У мене все близько. Раз, два, і я вже тут. Так, мабуть, сюди треба заходити. Мабуть, ні. Якось мені так легко все віддав, навіть грошей йому не треба було давати. Ага, от сюди.
I'm sorry.
Так, давай якось переодягнемося, мабуть. Так, обладунки. Так, оце, мабуть, треба знімати. Поки що. Отак. Так, а які одягти? Давай ось ці я одягну. Я думаю, різниці буде, не буде ніякої. Отак. І здається, все, він більше мені нічого не давав. Да, шапка. Так, кинджал, я думаю, треба зняти. Зброя. Кинджал, ось так.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
Він скалічився, він напився. Він напився.
He got as drunk as a lord. Totally pie-faced. Then he fell into a ditch, and now he's staggering around the streets, God knows where.
I might have expected. Once, he turned up with a hangover, and as soon as he smelt wine, he threw up all over the chapel door. I told him if that ever happened again, he was for the boot. Oh, well, you'll have to take his place for today. I've no time to find someone else. We can't be without a waiter here when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Звичайно, я ж професіонал.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaid or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhit stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something.
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the king of Hungary, but you'll manage it. Right?
Так, розкажи мені ще раз. Ага.
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Так, Адаму не наливати, всім іншим або біле, або червоне. Досить легко.
There are the pictures of wine.
Our current Waffen
Hopefully I
arsenal
won't
is a
smash
joke,
anyone's
and on
shoes.
top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
I'd like some white.
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the dry
взяти
devil,
біле.
used that thing. That Hackenbücher.
Це хто в нас?
Can you believe it?
Boy,
Where
are you
did they
deaf or
get
something?
them?
Why?
You're the one who
White.
should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
Thank you, Agent.
What are you implying, Friedrich?
Комусь іще?
All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws
Так,
have
а де
better
Адам?
weapons than the city
Ага, от тобі не
garrison.
наливать.
And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads
Чекаємо.
do not realize what
I'd like some monastery wine.
this
Refill
is.
my cup, boy.
The dry devil is running free.
That's
There
not
are
a good idea,
Raubritzer
sir.
everywhere
This is
in the
unbelievable.
region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves
Це ж він,
with
да?
a few
Да, Адам,
rusty
все.
halberds.
Я сказав, що мені заборонили.
Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund.
Всього два охоронця.
Hey, waiter, pour me some
Der
monastery wine.
König and his army
Так,
will not
монастирське.
be here forever.
А яке?
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment.
I
What have he
apologize,
heard
sir.
you?
What
wine?
then?
Rep
We're
and
sitting
quickly.
atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
Sir?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies.
Well,
nicht
thank
wahr?
the Lord. We are more than familiar
Кому
with the
іще?
Yemenly state of our
Налити
army.
може вам?
And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the honorable council on the cleanliness of the city
Подожди, у мене речей нема? О, у мене все забрали, прикинь.
and the state of the public baths.
You mean
Навіть
baths
гроші.
or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing? I'd like some monastery wine.
So
refill
the
my cup, boy.
cleanliness of the city is not
sorry, sir.
what it should be.
Orders from
Current
above.
baths in the
This
city
is
fall
unbelievable.
far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
Нельзя.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink.
More wine,
Repair
Master
the baths
Bailiff.
that used to
I
be
have
there.
enough wine.
She's a
Come
protege
closer.
of Maresh. Her effort.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
And they can get leeches there for free as well.
Де мені його шукати?
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
Baths is neither a civic
Добре.
duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Украдений келих.
Are you questioning God's
Nice.
plan? The Black Death
Whose
had
silver
nothing
might
to do
this
with
be?
the
Подгорська
baths,
книга
unless the Lord
присяг.
wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important. But we
Так, лис, гроші.
arguing about who is going to wash where and
I'm
how
sorry.
is a waste
Nичего,
of
ничего.
time.
It's only a
So, did you find it?
arguing about the same thing.
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
Rats, slop and rubbish. The least we
А,
can
я
do
його
as
віддав,
citizens
все
is to
добре.
provide them with a place
Я
to
думав,
wash
залишиться в
up.
мене, мені скажуть, що це я вкрав.
Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way.
At least until His Majesty
Hey,
honors us
waiter!
with his visit.
Pour me some
And as
monastery
we
wine.
know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're
Well,
saying.
thank the Lord.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've
Воно
sorted
навіть
it
пролито
out and
тут червоне,
everything's
тут біле.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides,
Waiter,
if his
pour
men
me red
attacked
wine.
yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
Hey,
Nothing happened.
pour me some
There's no
Tokai.
point in dwelling on it. Let's move
Якого
on.
тобі вина?
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly.
White
Why do I have the
Tokai.
feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me?
Я не можу
of
взяти.
lying?
Those are strong words, my friend.
Я взяти вино не
Nobody
можу.
said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating
right
around
back.
the town. Yes,
With the wine.
Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved.
Здається, блядь, не
I
міг вино тільки що
didn't
взяти.
expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city
Boy,
sword
I'd
like
fighting
some
school
white.
brought this custom to us. It's now run by the German Menhard.
Which one?
Who knows who
White
that
Tokai!
fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've
На,
never been
сука,
in
не
a fight
подавись,
yourself.
блядь.
And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof.
Don't hang
Put on
around
some
me.
old
Vanish,
fishwives in
you
the
hear me?
marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's that.
Boy!
There are
Where?
more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of
Everything
the
in
whole
order?
town garrison.
Not quite.
The guards
But I
are
think you might
apparently
be able
settling
to help
accounts
me.
their own.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
That's exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles. And
All
no
right.
one's left unscathed.
I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
Що мені треба зробити? Знайдіть мені рукавиці, чого? Ти щось попутав чи що? Ага, десь тут. А, оце?
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
Кого, блядь, порахувати? Крила? Які крила? 1, 2. 3, 4. 5, 6. Так тут їх до хіра. 7, 8. Та ви що, знущаєтесь? Їх більше 10.
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
16, 24, 32.
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
There's the eternal dispute
Сука,
over
яка
the
ти
cathedral.
скотина, а?
The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages
Якби я
to
сказав більше, він би
settlers.
сказав, а
Right
нафіг ти
under our
демонів
noses.
врахував.
It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to mock a royal mining
Hey,
city.
waiter!
Why can't we build
Pour me
faster?
some Tokai.
Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on?
Так, токайське це
Are
біле,
the
монастирське
experts
це
from
червоне.
far off supposed to work in a city
Sir?
under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something
About
other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you?
Ну, поки йде все досить
What
непогано.
would that be?
Like, for instance,
Щось, блядь,
that
вашого
you'd like
йобаного
to have
короля
your
нема.
own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
When hell freezes over, my friend, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
I'd like some
How
white.
dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out.
Boy, I'd like some
Not
white.
long ago, the guards raided and threw them all
Бать, ви
out.
вже ввійшли прямо в
Yes,
вкус.
I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Sir?
Thank you, waiter.
Щось короля довго немає. Не приїхав?
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
А може відійдеш нафіг звідти? Бо, блядь, прийшов мудак. Він на таких, як я, і не звертає уваги. О, ще одне буде чело. Блін, а він то мене може взнати. Хоча, здається, зблизька він мене не бачив ніколи. Що, ні, він не міг мене взнати.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this band of fires!
О, нормально до мене віднісся. Ось ще нормальний міровий чувак, ну я його вб'ю. Хоча ні, ми, мабуть, його не вб'ємо. Ми просто ув'язнимо, мабуть, його в кінці. А може взагалі нічого, може він втіче. О, за боготу будемо зараз грати. Прекрасно.
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject.
Так, хто цей француз?
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try.
Так. Як це бути на
How
свободі?
does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Блін, пташок ще з моїм мечем подареним, він мені його, мабуть, вже не поверне.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Так. Тебе я... А, підожди, це Ян Жишка. А поговоримо з тобою? Жишка.
good sir. Greetings to you.
О! Ян з Ліхтенштейну. Самуїл.
God be with you.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the
репутацію
town and the
втрачено.
kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Or maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world, for our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Краще не пити.
Excuse me. I'd better not drink.
Better communion wine than kosher, is it?
Та, блядь, ви що, охреніли? Так, цей вже готовий, походу. Так, а де оцей? Шляхтичі. Анна.
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation.
Марграф.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
Був.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
Я бився на Косовому полі, і в Небакові також я бився.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
Так.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say, incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Все, поговорили, трішки репутацію підняли. Блять, а я до кобили не вспів від Гануша підійти.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Драка буде чи ні?
Friends!
Ні, драки не буде.
We'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Так, давайте назад до Генрі.
That
Ні,
went
не
just as expected. Good health. And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
Мені все одно нема чого
As it
робити.
happens, I've got nothing better to do anyway.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobs proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Цікавий в тебе хід думок.
Got an interesting way of approaching things.
Сидіти нічого
You're
не
certainly
робити.
not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Bocek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
А вони всі тут. Я з ними повинен прямо тут поговорити, а не десь шукати.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade, and she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Ні, ну, добре. Добре, що не потрібно нікуди
I'd
їхати.
rather discuss those alliances sober.
Добре, що вони всі тут. Так, а де Рацик? Кобила. Кобила, ти де?
Not even Bocek. And he's a great
Ага, з
lord.
тобою треба поговорити, да?
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pa, even better. but you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest. I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I'll talk to you later, Father.
Батько?
This is important.
You're in my home, so you'll talk to me first. What is it you want?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
We'll talk later and in private. Right now we have more important things to attend to.
Don't try my...
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopry to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were...
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see?
Ну давай. А ми на дерев'яних будемо битись?
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through!
That was sneaky.
It's in my eyes, not at my sword!
Did they teach you that in the seminary? Not bad for a priest.
Блин, чи в мене є тут оцей удар?
You're fast.
Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arm! Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist!
О, ти що?
That was sneaky.
О, є, в нього також є цей удар.
You don't know which end of that
Who
thing
told
is
you that? Did they teach you that in the seminary?
What's wrong with your legs?
That was sneaky. Shit! Bad luck.
О, не хрена собі.
Take.
А так можна було?
Enough. That will do.
Що, обісрався?
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like
Переломала.
that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. That you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Why? Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
О, ХП відновилось. Дякую. Так. Кого мені ще шукати? Це ти? Ні, це служниця якась. О, Рацик Кобела.
You wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest.
Так, що ще? Давай будемо все в нього запитувати.
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord.
Так, з тобою також можна говорити, Гануш, давай.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Так, що з сухим чортом також? Ні, з сухим чортом я не можу говорити. Так, мені залишилось з двома взагалі поговорити, но я щось не бачу. А, він нижче десь. Отут. Та дай пройти! Диви на нього, блядь. О, ни хрена собі. Так, мені з бочиком поговорити.
I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
Та я навпаки.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men at arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men at arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
Якщо до мене, та ні. А ну-ка, Ліхтенштейн.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
Maybe you're right. I reckon he's not ready for marriage yet.
No man of any age ever is. But it's especially true for young rascals like that one. On the other hand, The lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Пташик нічого навіть знати не буде, просто у Гануша зараз все дізнаємось, він дасть добро та і все. Так, ну давай.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Тут таке діло.
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstad. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstad's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Ну,
I must sadly decline, sir.
Мені ще треба поговорити.
I'll take that personally.
Блять, втрачена репутація, та йдіть ви в сраку. То вони, блять, кажуть мені не бухай ніколи, то тепер давай побухаємо.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Так, ну давай з тобою вип'ємо.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
Я сподіваюсь, до кінця вечора я не впаду без задніх ног. А, ну в мене там зовсім трішки. Так, а з ким мені? Мені ще з одним треба поговорити. Точніше, з однією. Так, що тут внизу? Нічого не відбувається? Все тихенько. Мені ще одну мадам, вдову треба знайти. От вона.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Тоді ти там, де треба.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Так, Сигізмунд не буде мстити жінці. І не тільки багата, та ще й мудра.
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Так. Тема могутні вороги, що в паперах. Добре.
All right, I'll help you.
Не буду
Or at
запитувати,
least
що
I'll
в
give it a
паперах.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead.
Досить
But
легко.
watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Так, підроблені очі. Давай ми візьмемо вино. Ой, підроблені очі, кажу, підроблені документи. Якщо що, пригостим вином. Я думаю, буде нормально. Так, це візьмемо, грошенятка візьмемо. Так, ну ми не крадемо, ми беремо. Так, можна щось пожерти взяти у вас? Так, ще венце візьмемо.
Aye. Lots of people.
Ну добре, пішли тоді, спробуємо. А ну я можу зберегти? О, у мене є збережівки, підожди. Їжа. А у мене одна є збережівка. Ну давай я тут збережусь, звісно.
Take a look at that.
Конюх, давай поговоримо.
Greetings. What do you need?
Трохи нудно, чи не
Aren't you a
так?
bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
Може в кості зіграємо?
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather, eh?
Well, all right. But just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there.
Давай, зараз підійду. Так, а можна почитати документи чи ні? Ага, нифіга нельзя. Я думаю, не ті нельзя читати. Давай з ним зіграємо.
We'll see whose side luck is on today.
Так, кістки у мене, ох, нормально, нифіга собі.
Greetings. Greetings to you, friend.
Боготу сам Бог поцілував з таким випадінням.
Like this. Damn, what's this?
Тобі не повезло. Буває і таке. Так, 1, 2, блін, трійки нема. Дуже шкода. Так би зібрали все в ряд.
No great loss.
Серйозно?
It wasn't that good anyway.
Все, Бог від мене відвернувся.
For Christ's sake, how is that even possible?
Від тебе ще гірше. 1, 2, 3, 4, блін. П'ятірки тепер нема.
Well, you're not afraid of anything.
Так, досить цього, 300, нормально, ще 500 залишилось. Я сподіваюся, він зараз не витягне 1500, хоча насправді буде пофіг. Я документи підмінив, вона тепер на нашій стороні, а мій брательник поговорить з останнім чувачком. І я думаю, у нас буде також підтримка. Так. 1 п'ятірка, це не дуже. Хоча 2, 3, 4, 5, ні, це 4 не вистачить мені. Мен 350, ну йо-майо. Мені 150 залишилось, йому 750.
Alright, that'll do.
Все, давай, нема, не випало нічого. А.
Wonderful! And it goes to me.
Ну все. Фіг з тобою, мені не жалко. Трішки тобі грошенят дали, хай кайфує.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Milady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
Давай.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Блять, як вони келих достають з кармана. Так, тепер мені потрібно... Кого? Ага, брата. От, брат уже чекає. Ні, це... Ти поговорив? Хто свистить? Бля, як дам щас, ти дебіл, не свисти, грошей же ж не буде.
Margrave? Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
А як я від третього нічого не приніс? Повинні ж були за нас також бути.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece
Yitka will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Оце вже смішно. Я думаю, зараз він трішки впаде, мабуть. Ну ти ще не бачив, що там за мадам, можливо тобі сподобається.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
А пани Анни тут, до речі, не було, вона навіть не виступила, не сказала, що вона за нас. Тим часом в ратуші Кутної гори. Я все ще винішко розносю тут.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses.
Цей СИГІЗМУНД на якогось
Why
актора
haven't you
схожий.
done anything?
Дуже сильно прям.
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylanders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else.
Цей Маркграф щось підозрює. Він так
The
дивиться
council
на
is
мене.
dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry.
О, він нормально зі мною
And we
говорить.
still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is
Що на мене
true
дивишся?
of the Jews.
Що дивишся на мене?
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have
Тобі теж
enemies
налити
on
може, ні?
all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in the land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
No, sire. It would be inappropriate for me to drink with you. I apologize.
As you wish. To your health, Marquardt. And to our upcoming victory.
Didn't you say that Lord Constance was going with them? Ah, so what? They left a long time ago.
Damn it. Your name is unpronounceable.
I had wicked thoughts. About the girls? Or the piglet? I will just call you
Excuse-moi. Half of the French court knows me by that name.
Well, you're not in France now. Here, nobody knows.
But that is about to change.
How would you like a wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if he'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels! Mon ami, This wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence. Give me a 100
Begging to be eaten. You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
Sorry, but you're right about Sigismund. The sooner he's gone, the sooner life returns to this country.
Let's drink to that. Just a bit longer.
You already said that.
Are you surprised? He's a bitter, contrary old goat. After all, we came here for the feast anyway.
You're right.
I don't know about you.
Calling up to you, begging to be eaten.
No, it needs a bit more.
Sorry, have you got some time to spare?
From cleaning up this pigsty? Any time.
I've come to rescue you from work and responsibilities.
Really? Why don't you save that sweet talk and tell me what you want?
Well, it occurred to me we could maybe spend a little time together.
Of course. What else? Do you play dice?
You mean strip dice?
You strip if you like. Either way, you'll end up bare-assed and with an empty purse.
All right. Let's have a game.
I've heard about you, but you can't beat me.
And I'm telling you, we won't get rid of him that easily. Everyone's being too hopeful.
That's enough for me.
And why would he do that? If he was so craven as to run away from the first army that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here. Well, this won't be just any army. It'll be an army like the likes of which this country's never seen before.
Here's hoping.
It's only going to be a scarecrow to keep Sigismund from murdering them.
There, that turned out all right.
Hope a battle breaks out. It'll be a fucking bloodbath.
Hopefully I'll do it again. Sacra! What a disaster again.
I need help with something. Do you know where I might be able to find the wine pitchers? I mean the ones with the really good wine that the Lord saves for his nearest and dearest.
And you're one of those?
I should say so. I'm his son.
And I'm the king's daughter. Anyway, I don't know nothing about no wine. In case you haven't noticed, I'm sweeping the floor, and I'm about to mop up vomit. Try asking my mom. She's the cook here.
Greetings.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but are you busy?
What do you think? A fortress full of hungry mouths and half of them noble lords accustomed to all kinds of debauchery.
I haven't eaten so well in a long time. Lord Odoran was fortunate in his choice of cook.
He didn't have to choose me. My old ma spent her whole life in this kitchen, and my grandmother before her. God rest them both.
Wait, you're Kvieta's daughter, Madlenka.
It's been a long time since anyone has called me by that name. I was afraid you'd forgotten me.
Do you think I could ever forget you? Come on.
Ah, stop it. Even as a young lordling, you were bringing girls here from all over the county. I was just convenient for you, because the kitchen was just a few steps away.
Oh, come on. I also chased that dolt from the stables away from you. Or have you forgotten?
Cooper? How could I? When your father sent you away, I found out that dolt wasn't so bad. I ended up marrying him.
Where might I find the really good wine here?
Why? You don't like the stuff from the kegs?
It's not for me. One of the distinguished guests asked for it.
Aha. If you go down the cellar stairs, you'll see the pictures lined up on the table. It's Lord Odoran's best. He's drunk plenty of it himself today.
Jesus wept.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty. Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! The surrounding crystal! He can't make it on his own.
Go fuck you!
Take that shit! Smash him on the head! Step back! No, you...
Stand your ground!
That's it! He's done!
Show me that guy!
Never saw that coming! Don't kill him!
My head! Smack him on the head! Right! Ride on horses out! Got it! Next!
Jesus! The surrounding Christopher! He can't make it on his own.
Smash him on the head!
Hey! That one's had it!
You got him!
One step back! Stand your ground!
You're mine! He's the fancy moves!
Yeah! Find those horses out!
Get him! Show your stuff!
Ka! Ka!
Whoa! Take that fucker out, damn it! Shit! He's nearly got me!
You'll kick the bucket, you shit!
Now you're mine, you bastard!
Bash him on the head!
For the cross!
You got him! Get ready to leave this lot!
He's had it! It's a wonder you're still standing!
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Conrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hannes?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother. But only almost.
Good work.
You have a brother? Where is he?
He's upstairs in the hall. He's alive, but he's severely wounded. He tried to defend our father. That old badger's not worth the trouble.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghout took them.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while.
Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsh in return.
When he sees what von Berghout did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat. Trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with you.
Here, Mutt.
What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this? God's punishment on
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with them anyway.
One construct captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, brought it upon themselves.
those other books. Though he almost took Hinnock of Kunst.
That dry devil is as tough as old boots. The horse fell off me.
Yes. The best thing we can do is to keep doing our work.
What if the old lord doesn't?
Such slaughter.
When Jobst finds out about this.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Jeez.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Owlet surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plan...
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. Very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
Then we'll have a young.
Punishing them like this.
What do you make of this Brabant fellow?
He's unquestionably a remarkable knight, that Vakalin. He rambles on a lot, though. My head nearly burst listening to him sometimes. Although it was better than being stuck there alone. Otherwise, he seems to me like a bold and worldly gentleman, if a little obsessed with wealth.
I agree. He seems quite likeable. And he's got a score to settle with Sigismund, like we do.
He certainly has.
What happened when von Berghoff hauled you off after the Nabokov battle?
It was a dreadful journey. Jesus, don't even remind me. It was a bit better in Malashov. Apart from being locked up, of course.
Did anything happen along the way?
No, but it took ages to get to Malashov. 4 or 5 days in that god-awful cart. I was traveling with von Owlet's minions. They hauled me in one of the wagons. They treated my wounds a bit, but I was still in a really bad way. After that battle and all.
What did they do with you in Malashov?
Nothing much, actually. They took care of my wounds, and then stuck me in a room with Brabant. But they treated me decently, as befits a noble. Von Berghoff came asking questions a couple of times. but that was about it. Only I almost went mad from being cramped in that damned room. It's a good thing you got me out of there.
Well, what was the problem with the room?
That I couldn't get out of there. I was... Actually, I had a feel...
But the main thing is...
Indeed.
Doing all right.
Not, but most of it probably wasn't. Otherwise, travel.
Don't say that.
Our gratitude to those.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your God and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but,
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Do you think that's a good idea? No offense, sir, but you're no great warrior.
I'm not. But I'm not just going to sit here and wait, either.
All right, then.
Perish. Can we go any faster?
Settle down, son. If you must keep your tongue busy.
Треба зберегтись.
Use it to pray.
Would you tell me what the fuck is going on already?
Sigismund ordered an attack on the Jewish quarter. We need to get everyone out of there fast.
Bloody hell. I just got ailed up so nicely today.
Oh, that is just great. My mother's life is in the hands of a drunkard.
Don't worry. We'll save your mother.
And everyone else too. Don't forget that.
You seem to care an awful lot about these people, sir.
Are you surprised? It's all my fault. If they weren't helping me...
That droid of Sigismund, may his name be erased, would have found some other excuse to get rid of us.
Look, it's not that I don't feel sorry for you, but don't you think maybe we could make the horses go a little faster? At this pace, we won't make it there in a week.
Все, давай,
We should
швидше.
pick up the pace.
All right. Schnell, schnell.
О, супер. Переміщаємося швидко. Блін, ну в Рапоржі тепер ми не дуже звані гості. Мені це не дуже подобається. Зато в цілому в інших містечках все нормально. Навіть в Старій Кутні, хоча я там навіть не був. Навіть нічого не робив там. Так чисто
What's
проїжджав.
the matter? Why are we stopping?
We will walk from here. We cannot drive right into those murderers' arms.
But how do we get into the town then?
We will go through Sheol.
There are many abandoned mine shafts under the town. One of them ends here.
Won't it collapse on our heads?
We'll find out soon enough.
Follow me.
Так, збереглось. Супер. Що в нас по часу? Давайте, мабуть, ми на цьому будемо закінчувати серію. Звідси якраз підемо вже розбиратись з нападами на цих шановних панів. І будемо їх рятувати, якщо це все вийде. Я сподіваюся, буде все нормально. Також, коли грали за Боготу, я сподіваюся, що там я нічого не зробив. Точніше, зробив все, що міг. Тому що, коли вбили брата, я навіть не знав про те, що його потрібно захищати. А на рахунок Анни там навіть не писалось. Ну, то вже розберемося потім. Тож, якщо вам сподобалось, не забудьте поставити лайк та підписатись на канал. Ми будемо продовжувати в наступній серії. Дякуємо за перегляд, до нових зустрічей, всім пока.